Prophecy. The easiest of the dungeons so far. From endless rolling dunes to wacky geometrical rooms to the brilliantly inconsistent lighting mechanics, this dungeon has it all. Seriously, dumping new light players into this dungeon right after finishing the tutorial and watching their minds just melt trying to figure out the most basic mechanic in the dungeon will never not be hilarious. I personally think Warlock is the easiest for this dungeon, with Hunter a close second. However, I'm picking Hunter because I'm a filthy invis crutch with a minor addiction to Assassin's Cowl. Load on into the mission and go through the first 2 rooms, because I'm definitely not teaching you how to do the skip on Hunter. Mechanics of the dungeon: light motes, dark motes, basically Gambit. Stand in the light, you kill a knight, you get light motes, stand in the dark, you get dark motes, except not always. Why? I don't know. Guess the 9 aren't a fan of stasis, they've evidently been playing too much PvP. That's a really outdated joke now, this is such an old script. Go through the first 2 rooms to reach the first encounter. Swap onto Arc with Assassin's Cowl and bring Tractor Cannon and a 1-2 punch shotgun. Move around the arena, taking out the Scions with your melee and using your shotgun to 1-2 punch the knights. If you're unaware of how Hunter Arc works, use the combination blow melee to refresh your dodge, then dodge near an enemy to refresh your melee. The invisibility that you get from Assassin's Cowl makes this fairly easy to pull off. When you have 5 motes, double dunk them and get the next 5. This works, this doesn't. Cool, let's continue. Once you've finally gotten yourself to DPS phase, clear out any remaining adds and then combo the boss like he's that one friend you could never beat in Smash Bros. Tractor Cannon, shotgun, 2 punches, repeat. When the goblins spawn, you can refresh your combination blow. This should be a 1 phase, but if it isn't, repeat the previous steps. The Dunes. Swap onto Xenophage and a sniper to clear all the hobgoblins before attempting to clear blights. Then you can push up and take out the other enemies. Fun fact, when you go to Toland after destroying the blights, he'll go in the direction of the next blights. Just a tip to keep you from wandering around aimlessly to eventually get smashed 10 feet into the ground by an angry invisible Minotaur. Now for the cube room. Throw on your arc loadout, hold on tight to your Xenophage, and get ready for the exciting mechanic known as hiding in a corner and not coming out. Ever. Because hobgoblins are terrifying. Once you feel brave enough to venture back out into the room, focus on getting rid of the hobgoblins as quickly as possible. You may want a grenade launcher in case you run out of heavy ammo. I'd personally recommend Pardon Our Dust, but you know, there's this little known grenade launcher in the game from a dark, uncivilized era that may or may not work to full effect inside this dungeon. That's never coming off now. Anyways, the cube room. Guess what's in this room? A cube. You want to light up all the sides, and while Toland does a fairly good job at guiding you through it, he has a nasty habit of hanging about on the ceiling. If this happens, look for a side of the cube that isn't lit up and dunk there. Also, these bosses are pitiful. Now for the hardest part of the dungeon, the sparrow bit. Except not really, because we still have one more encounter. Using the arc build yet again, swap out your primary for Witherhoard and Xenophage for a good linear like Taipan or Cataclysmic. Make sure you have triple tap or 4 times the charm so that you can be ammo efficient. I use my arc super immediately after I get into the arena before throwing as much linear fusion rifle ammo into the boss's head as I can before he teleports away. It's at this point that I tag the boss with Witherhoard and focus my attention on the hobgoblins. When you've cleaned out the hobgoblins, turn back to the boss and deal as much damage as possible before their phase ends. This will be a round of 3 phase, but of course there's always the alternative. Oh wow, maybe this boss fight isn't difficult after all. Well, that's unfortunate.